everyone, my name is Marius Lezinch. I'm the founder of the Wall Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation as well as the founder of the Wall Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation's WSWCF Academy. And today in this video I'm going to talk about the history of modern calisthenics and street workout sports, but I want to underline the word modern because the roots and the beginning of the calisthenics and street workout as a movement is a very big subject under the discussion. And some say it started in ancient Greece, some say it started in the suburbs and the ghettos of New York City, some say it started in the Russian army. So I'm not going to touch this part of the history. I'm going to speak only about the sports history, because to know the sports and to understand the sports, you have to know the roots and understand more about where the rules are coming from and how everything was created. So I started street workout and calisthenics back in 2009 together with my team in Latvia. And before we started our international movement in 2011, I was working here in Latvia with street workout and calisthenics, mainly working with streets, providing trainings for young kids, and going around Latvia. Also have been visited 484 schools, if I don't mistaking. And so it's been a long road before we started international movement, a long road for us here in Latvia. Within 2 years, very packed years, full of a lot of interesting events, also winning Latvian Got Talent TV show with the street workout team, performing on the stage and going on a tour across the country. So at the moment when we decided to organize first ever World Championship and create the World Federation, we have been doing crazy, huge work in Latvia. And then we decided and understood that our team here in Latvia and our knowledge and our skills are more than just for our small country, and we decided to expand. And at the beginning it was all more like I would say a funny, interesting joke, like, hey, let's make a world championship and let's create the World Federation. And at the beginning it really sounded as a joke and more like a funny idea, but with the upcoming days we started to think about it more and realized that no one ever actually has organized something like that, and no one really has organized world championships, and there is no federation, there is no sport actually in general, and everyone just simply calling themselves best calisthenic or street workout athlete on YouTube, on other social media. And we decided that if the spot is not taken, why shouldn't we try? So back in 2011, in the summer, we started to send out the messages to all of the calisthenics and street workout athletes that we could find on YouTube and on Facebook, and we thought that everyone will be happy about our idea that we should gather together and organize first event and create maybe a federation in future. But we faced the fact that a lot of people were against that, because people in United States and the athletes in United States were mostly saying that, guys, this is an underground movement, it can't be sport. Same was also with other guys. And in 2011 we managed to organize first ever World Championship in history of this sport, with 10 countries participating. And I would say these were like 10 countries and athletes from 10 countries, the most bravest one, who was not caring about the negative feedback that we created on social media, and who really wanted to come and enjoy the event and gather together. And in August 2011, we organized the first ever World Championship in the history of this sport. And it was a 2 days event. First day was freestyle, and the second day was like a power and strength competition mix. To be honest, in the first World Championship there were no rules, because the sport was not really existing. No one knew what to expect from these athletes and how to make these competitions. So we So, and the first judges of the World Championship actually was Olympic champion in gymnastics and the winner of multiple strongman events, and also some experienced fitness trainers. So we gathered together the judging community out of the people who were kind of away from the who were pretty strong and known in their fields, but away from street workout and calisthenics community in general. And first ever street workout and calisthenics freestyle world champion is Yevgeny Kozyr from Ukraine. He was very known for his crazy static moves, and basically he was a very strong static athlete. And on the second day we had the power and strength category, and the winner of power and strength category was Latvian guy Artem Shipilo. This was a great atmosphere event because we had, I think, 3 parties in 4 days. So it was more about coming together, having fun. We had the sightseeing in Riga, Latvia, because Riga, Latvia is home of the World Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation and home of the first World Championships. And after 2 days of making events, we all sat down in hotel and we discussed the idea of organizing maybe such events in future and the necessity of creating the Wall Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation. So we presented our plan to all of the participants of this championship, and all together we signed the Memorandum of Understanding about the creation and funding of the Wall Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation. And to be honest, the first event was very hard to organize because we had to do everything from ourselves. And at the beginning, we had several sponsors promising us money and support and help for this championship. At the end of the day, when they started to see the negative feedback from the street workout community worldwide, saying that this may be not be the best way to start the sport, and not really supporting this event, a lot of these sponsors just canceled their support, and I personally had to sell my motorcycle to organize this world championship, and many guys from the team had to do also a lot of sacrifices, and we were at the night we were preparing the stage. At the day we were doing the championship. At the night we were disassembling the stage. And so in the first week of World Championship, I personally was sleeping, I think, 2 hours a day in overall. And honestly, I and my team, we thought that we will never ever do this again because it was too hard. But the positive feedback after people going back home, all of the pictures, all of the videos, all of the posts from those people who came to World Championship, we started to gain a lot of interest about our movement, about our federation, and about future events. So 2012 was like a big start of our federation and of street workout and calisthenics sport in general, because again in Riga, Latvia, we managed to organize a second already freestyle, this time only freestyle, because of a lot of negative feedback on the power and strength category championship in 2011. We decided to focus only on freestyle. So 2012 World Championship, only a freestyle event, and we had this time already participants from 20 countries, and also there were at that time there were not really, again, there were no rules for freestyle competitions, but this time judges were people from the street workout and calisthenics community. And in this case, we had Zev Zakavelli, the founder and leader of the Barbarians team from New York. We had Denis Minin, very known street workout and calisthenics athlete and organizer of many events from Ukraine. As well as we had Alexander Borisov from Russia, from Chelyabinsk. He was actually participant of first ever World Championship in 2011 representing Russia, and we also had Levi Turner from UK. If I'm not mistaken, we had 4 judges, but this championship was completely different in terms of size, in terms of interest about the championship. And we had, first of all, we were organizing an event in a Ghetto Games Park. And for those who are interested in seeing maybe more pictures or more videos from these championships, you can go on our website, WSWCF.org. There is a section galleries, and there you can browse starting from 2011 up to 2022, because not yet any events are organized in 2023, but you can see all of the galleries. So we had 5,000 people watching the event live. This was amazing. So we built a bigger stage, and this time we had more support from the sponsors, and also participants and people coming to the World Championship were very interested already, and we had many athletes who continued and later on became very known. And for example, we had participant from United States who was Chris Harrier. Pretty known in calisthenics community now, and if I'm not mistaken, we also had Ed Money as a judge. So I'm telling this all history more or less out of my own memories, because I'm the organizer of these events, and so the main person behind the scene of all of these events. So I'm just trying to memorize and put everything together. Also, what's very interesting that Rain B. Bennett came in 2012. He's a very known film director, and he made the documentary called Raise Up, and it's about street workout and calisthenics, sports and movement growing up. And he came to our event, and he was amazed on the level of the event for this young sport. Also, it's very important to mention that my personal dream ever was to have any of our events in a Eurosport channel, because that's the biggest Eurosport channel is the biggest TV channel in Europe. And Eurosport second channel was more known and is still more known for like extreme sports and different types of sports. And they had a section Crazy Thursday, and it was late in Thursday evenings. And after, I don't know, 50 emails and 20 phone calls and presentations and everything, we proved that we might have the 30 minutes broadcast from our World Championship 2012 on Eurosport, second TV channel on this Crazy Thursday. And we managed to edit all the videos and prepare all the scripts by ourselves according to all their high standards. And my dream was on, and first time ever I saw myself and also my great event and the event that my great team organized on the Eurosport second channel. And what is important to mention that second World Championship winner was again Ukrainian. At that time, Ukraine was dominating the freestyle game, and this time it was Yevgeny Kocherga with his also very known static moves and static elements. And later in 2012, in December, we organized first ever Nation Cup for the teams. And the idea was to have teams from the countries competing against each other. And we organized 5 teams, and first team was Baltic State team, so athletes from Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia together. We had Team Spain, because at that time Spain with their team Barbario was very known, and also Dozel Kamanagombe was the 3rd place holder back in 2011, and so the connection between World Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation and Spain was pretty strong. Also, we had US and UK mixed team of barbarians. We had Team Russia and we had Team Ukraine, and And the winners of this Nation Cup, it was organized in Olympic Complex Druzhba in Moscow, Russia, back in December, indoor event because it's pretty cold already in December. And these 5 teams were competing. There were several rules, and again we had judges. We had many judges from the street workout community already, and winners were Ukraine. And this event actually is a turning moment for a street workout and calisthenics sport community and the sport rules in general. I will explain you why, because as I mentioned, here is Baltic States team, Spain, US, Russia, and Ukraine. So Russia and Ukraine was super strong in statics, like super strong, but their dynamic game was like 0. So, but Spain and US teams and also guys from Baltic States, they were doing a lot of dynamic moves. And there was a huge complaint after the championship, after Ukraine winning, from all of the participants, from all of the teams, because the biggest complaint was like, what should be judged higher, statics or dynamics? And it was a crazy argument. After arguing after the event, remember we were in hotel in Moscow in Hotel Cosmos, and all participants sitting together, and it was almost beginning of the fight, physical fight, because everyone was strongly holding the position that statics should be evaluated higher, dynamics should be evaluated higher, and so people were feeling very treated unfair because of this exact competition. And then at that point, we took the very hard decision. I personally did this decision, and for some period of time I was pretty hated because I made a decision that from 2013, to win the World Championship or to win any event, athletes should perform dynamic moves and at least one static move if these are dynamic known athletes, and static move athletes should also perform dynamic moves. So this is like a first ever rule of the freestyle competitions that was strictly written down to have the competitions more fair. Yes, a very hard decision, but this was the turning point in the future history of our sports development in terms of rules and regulations. Also in December of 2012, we decided to ask for feedback to all of the street workout and calisthenics community because we had already more member countries in the World Federation, more organizations, and back then everything was about teams. Like people now you see more individual athletes, but at the beginning of street workout and calisthenics sport, it was very important to be part of some team, and team bar stars were really known, barbarians and barbario, and everything was about being a part of the team. And members of the World Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation at the beginning were more teams. And in 2012, in December, we first asked feedback, what to improve in the rules. And season 2013 was actually already with these new rules based on the feedback. And to get the maximum points, as I mentioned, you have to do static and dynamic elements. That must be included. Again, in 2013, we organized only freestyle. For some years after 2011, we left out the power and strength category at all. And we organized a World Championship in 2013, last time in row, but third time in row in Riga, Latvia, the hometown of World Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation. This time we had 30 countries participating, and also this time many of these countries were already organizing national championships to select strongest to come to World Championship. The first two were just, guys were picking up. For example, we were asking some leader in Russia more known team in Russia to send us their strongest participants. Then starting from 2013, Spain, France, US, Russia, Ukraine, Latvia, and many other countries were doing a national championships to select the best ones. We also had judges already from street workout and calisthenics community, and we had Dr. G from bartenders team. We had Edward Chekhov from Bar Stars. We had again other strong and known already athletes. We had Rain B. Bennett coming and filming the event. Again, this event was also on Eurosport. We managed to film that and put it on Eurosport. And winner of the World Championship, Freestyle World Championship back in 2013 was actually Andrzej Zhilov from Lithuania. That was a year when he actually was he amazed judges with one very strong move. I'm not saying that his performance was bad in general, but his performance was good. But he made one move that made all of the judges decide that he's a champion. So he was the first one doing like a one arm front lever. It's still very far from what you see now. Most of the tricks you saw now on these events were very far from the quality of the moves now, because the sport was only developing. But yeah, that was his strongest move, and Andrzej Zhilov was the champion. The biggest change in 2013, because already sport was growing and organizations and interest about the sport was growing worldwide. So we decided to go the classical way of many sports, when they have the World Championship as for the winners of the national championships, and also at the same time organizing a World Cup with stages. And at the beginning, a lot of people were mistaking which event is what and what are the rules. But World Cup at that time was actually with the same freestyle rules, but it just gave many more places a possibility to organize a bigger international events. And World Cup stages were also events where people, to have the World Cup stage, we had a rule that you have to have at least 5 participants from 5 different countries. And first stages were in Spain, in Madrid. It was an indoor event together with the team Barbario. Zagreb stage in Croatia, on the main square of the Zagreb city center. It was Friday evening, late evening, a pretty warm evening, I think in October, but it was fully crowded. We had 7,000 or 8,000 people watching, and it was a really amazing event. Also, most of these World Cup stages we managed at that year to show on the Eurosport. As well, we had stage in Chelyabinsk, Russia, because of Alexander Borisov's activity in Russia, in Chelyabinsk. Street workout and calisthenics was pretty big sport at that time, growing. And mayor of the city, I remember he said that Chelyabinsk was never been on Eurosport, and he was requesting us the letter from Eurosport confirming that the street workout championship of World Cup stage will be on Eurosport. And of course, Eurosport were not providing such letters, but we managed to get some letter of confirmation from our friend already at that time in Eurosport, the person who we were working with, and we presented this letter to Chelyabinsk mayor, and he not only gave us the main square, big stage on the square, and with a lot of 1,000 people watching, and with cameras, lights, with everything, with musicians. But also at that time, he built the biggest street workout and calisthenics park in the world. And also the day before the event, we were making the world record. Unfortunately, it didn't went to the Guinness World Record book, but we made a world record in the number of people doing the pull-ups at the same time. So the park was so big, and even the mayor of the city, with all of his assistants, he came and he was doing pull-ups with us together. Also, we had stages in Offenburg, Germany, together with Dennis Rotano and his German team. Also, we organized World Cup stage in Fredrikstad, Norway, together with AFPT, personal trainer school. In the future, they were supporting many of our events, and it was a great event in a small city, Fredrikstad, but also in a city center on the separate stage. Also in 2013, we managed to organize first World Cup stages outside of the European continent, and first World Cup stage outside was actually New York, and the place where the modern street workout or calisthenics has been growing from. And it was in a park in New York City, and we organized it without any permission for a public event. And I remember we had a sound system in the corner of the park, and when the police or park rangers were going, someone was spotting them, and we were shutting down the music and covering the music system with a blanket and pretending like just workout is happening. But at the same time, we had a World Cup stage, and it was a very great and interesting event because first ever there was an international event in the New York City in the park, and as well as we had international stage, first stage in Asia, together with the legendary Bobby Lee from Taiwan. We had the World Cup stage in Taipei. It was a very hot day. I remember it was the ground was like burning, and it was very hard to be in the shoes because it was too hot. And when you take out the shoes, the ground was so hot that it was impossible to stand it. And I remember it was at a university park outside. It was super hot, and we had, I guess, 12 participants, and all of them were from Taiwan. If I'm not mistaken, we had one participant from France, Kevin Soler, and we had participant from Australia. So it was still not the whole requirement of having 5 countries, but at the same time, it was great to have the first international World Cup stage in Taipei. And we organized a super final in Moscow, and 3 best of each stage were flying to Moscow. Winner of this World Cup super final was Vladimir Sadkov from Russia. He was a winner of the Zagreb World Cup stage, and he's an ex circus athlete, and he's known for crazy statics, and also his dynamic game was not bad at that time, and he was a winner of the super final. And most of the stages we managed to show on the Eurosport second channel. 2013 was like a breakout for the street workout and calisthenics sport on the international level. In 2014 was the biggest change in the rules because from 2014, all freestyle events had 3 types of judges. That was a necessity to have and was mandatory. And we had static element judge, dynamic element judge, and judge for combinations. And the 4th World Championship we had was already moved to Moscow, Russia, because street workout and calisthenics sport was very good developing in Russia, and we managed to have a good governmental support. And back in 2014, we even had Russian sports minister Vitaly Mutko coming and opening the World Championship in Moscow. And we had participants from 40 countries. At that time, Moscow was sponsoring their flight tickets and crazy good hotel. And it was a nice event with a couple thousand people watching, with big tribunes, with nice stage, with kangaroo pro bars, first kangaroo pro bars on the stage. And it was a great event. And winner of the World Championship back in 2014 was Eric Ortiz. And we got a lot of negative feedback from many athletes because Eric Ortiz is a very small guy and a very small body type of athlete with crazy good elements, with crazy good dynamics and statics. and his performance was amazing. But that was a first ever big complaint when people were coming to the World Championship, and the size difference of the athletes was from like 90 kilos to Eric Ortiz, who is a very lightweight athlete, and this also was turning point for us to realize that in the future we have to have the weight categories because of these complaints. But still, Eric Ortiz, with a great performance, became a world champion in 2014, and the championship was organized in the Olympic Stadium in Luzhniki, and it was a really great event. The same as in 2013, same in 2014, we had a World Cup with the stages and with the same rules, actually, just like a World Championship. And we had stages in Taipei, Taiwan, again, already in the next level. We had a World Cup stage in Stuttgart. In a city celebration, we had a big stage, and the mayor of the Stuttgart gave us this stage for 3 hours. And he was personally amazed that he never saw that on his city celebration, some event has paid so much attention from the audience. So the crowd was not going away. So these 3 hours when the World Cup stage was happening on this big stage that we got a right to use, people were really interested in watching. Also, we had an event in New York already. This time it was great event with permission, if I'm not mistaken, in the Battery Park, and it was on the stage, and so everything official this time. Again in Zagreb, in the city center, also main square. Again, big event, great event. And we added new stages and new continents, and it's very important. And the first one stage in Africa was Johannesburg in South Africa, organized by Smith Mangena, the first ever African athlete coming to World Championship, participating in 2013. And already in 2014, he and his team managed to organize the first ever World Cup stage in African continent. And as well, we organized our first ever World Cup stage in South America, in Venezuela, and together with the team Pro Barras. Remember, there was some issues with the athletes coming there, and some of them were even robbed in the airport, and it created a little bit worry about the future stages in Venezuela. But the stage itself was great. The team was great, but the situation in Venezuela, as you know, is pretty rough. We had several events later on also in Venezuela, but this was the first ever in South America. And super final was in Oslo, in Norway, and Oslo, Norway, as I mentioned before, AFPT, the personal trainer academy in Norway, they were supporting this great event, and it was the indoor event with a lot of spectators, with the TV channels, with the people coming from winners again. 3 best of all the stages went to super final, and Eric Ortiz winning this World Cup super final proved that it was not just a mistake in a World Championship, but he's a strong athlete and deserves a lot of respect as an athlete. So that was about 2014. Also very important 2 events in 2014 that changed the history of the calisthenics and street workout sport. And first event was first ever female World Championship, freestyle female World Championship, organized in Amsterdam, because at the beginning when we started our events, there were only guys competing in events, and there were not too many female athletes in general, so that you could find on social media. But in 2014, we first ever decided to open this gate for female athletes, and together with Vana from 27 Bars, we did World Championship for female athletes. It was in Amsterdam, in small district of Amsterdam, on the existing Kangaroo Pro Park, just outside. Comparably small event, but in a very nice atmosphere, and the first ever female world champion became Ona Kivela from Finland, and she is very known as a pole dancer. And if I'm not mistaken, she has even been winner of the couple of big international events in the pole dancing, and she is very known for having her school in Finland for pole dancing. But what's really important is that she never showed anything from pole dance on the stage. Because of her huge experience and the skill set of being a professional athlete for pole dance, she went outside performing for the World Championship. In 2 rounds, she showed strict street workout and calisthenic elements. She chose the perfect music, and the difference between her and the next participants were amazingly big. So yeah, that was about the World Championship for female athletes. Also, a very important event that started to happen starting from 2014 was the World Pull-Up Day. So we were thinking of having some international event that is not competitions, and is aiming for like a charity. We spread out the information about the idea of having a World Pull-Up Day where people are organizing their own pull-up points around the world and coming together, doing pull-ups and donating some money or donating some goods for people in need. And in first 2014 World Pull-Up Day, we had pull-up points, more than 400 pull-up points in 60 plus countries. And in future, this World Pull-Up Day was organized annually until the COVID, and it was growing, and it was a very great event. We planning to bring it back together with the World Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation. And what's really important that World Pull-Up Day also got the world record holders, 4 different world records in the number of people doing pull-ups around the world and the number of pull-ups done around the world with multiple people. And if you go on Instagram or any social media and write hashtag and World Pull-Up Day, you can see thousands of pictures from around the world, people doing pull-ups in all continents using the same logo, same concept, World Pull-Up Day. So I'm not going to be touching a lot more about the World Pull-Up Day, but if you are interested more about this event, you can go on worldpullupday.com and see more information about that as well. 2015 was the year when, based on the feedback that we received from all of the members of All Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation, we implemented the new rules of how athletes can obtain the points from static, dynamic, and combination judge. If before you could only do some crazy static move and get 10 points from static judge, then in this starting from 2015, if you only do 1 perfect static move in all your performance, you only get 3 points out of 10. If you do at least 2 moves, you get maximum 5 points, and if you do 3 and more, then you can get only the maximum points. And that was also a game-changing rule that was placed towards having more athletes doing everything the best: statics, dynamics, and move combinations. World Championship again was in Moscow, Russia, because of the support, huge support in Russia at that time. We had 50 countries participating. National championships under the Unite rules of the sport. It was very, very important that starting from 2015, there were no possibilities of coming to a world championship just for being strong athlete or whatever. You have to have the national championship in your country. You have to win the national championship. Or if you don't have the national championship in your country, there was an online selection for the athletes from the exact same country and judged by the federation judges. and finding out who is the best. And winner of the World Championship in 2015 was again Eric Ortiz from France. And for women category, first time winner of the World Championship was Bogdanov Jessica Sandra, with a very great performance on the stage. And 2015 was first ever very professional event in terms of judging, regulations, rules, and everything. We really came close to be like a professional sports event, because versus before it was more like gathering together, and still, judges and rules and performance was not that strict and not that clear, and so it was a lot of still freestyle is a very subjective sport, but it was too much of subjectivity. But in 2015 everything changed and became more and more strict and straight to the point. World Cup in 2015 also was organized with the new rules, and the new rules were also having a style judge, combination judge, dynamic judge, but also we came up with the idea making World Championship and World Cup different. And difference was adding the style judge, because World Cup were more about the performance, about just entertaining the crowd, because these stages were mostly in the public places, and we were pushing athletes to be more focusing on their performance, choose of their music, choose of the way they look, choose of the way they act on the stage, how they interact with the crowd, and versus the World Championship being more strict to the tricks and performance itself. And we had 2015 also added the new points in our geography of the events, and we had first ever World Cup stage in Australia, in Sydney. We also had first ever stage in the Middle East, that was in Dubai. We had stage in Medellin, Colombia, Taipei, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Jurmal, Latvia, Agadir, Morocco. We had Poland, we had South Africa, we had France, St. Petersburg, Madrid, UK, Germany, and as well as New York. And super final was again in Moscow, because of the huge support in Moscow at that time. And three strongest athletes from every single stage came to the super final. And the winner of this super final was Daniel Slaizans, Latvian athlete, who later on became one of the most titled athletes in the calisthenics sport history. Also, what's important that in 2015 there was a plan to bring back the power and strength category championship. I personally went to Curacao Island in Caribbeans, and we're working with Visit Curacao, like a tourism ministry there, and also with many departments of this little cozy and nice Caribbean island. We've got the agreement of having the great event in Willemstad, the capital of this small island. But for some reason, they canceled the event right before we had to start like real planning and organizing. And we had no other location to organize this event, and we decided to create the online World Championship, and we spread out the rules on our social media, on our webpage, asking athletes to film their sets of different exercises on the time. And we got two winners. We got a winner in a female category, in male category, and in male category we had Piotr Gorzela from Poland winning the first ever online power and strength championship right after 2011. And for women category, we had Melanie Dresden from Netherlands, who later on became the very known athlete and multiple-time world champion in a freestyle category as well. So 2015, we didn't manage to organize Power and Strength live event, but we had it online. It was not very big, but still it's a very important point in history, bringing back Power and Strength in the game. 2016 was maybe not the biggest change in the rules and regulations for World Championship. And the World Championship again was in Moscow, Russia, with slightly improved rules based on the feedback. And the winner of the street workout and calisthenics freestyle World Championship 2016 was Hassanayad Bayan from Iran, and in a female category, Melanie Drisden from Netherlands. And the biggest change in 2016 actually was the rules for World Cup and World Cup stages, because World Cup stages used to have same rules with the World Championship. But as I mentioned before, back in 2015, we added also the style judge. But the biggest change was that the style judge was also only judging together with the static, dynamic, and combination judge in the first round. And from the first round, only 10 participants were qualifying to the second round of the any stage of the World Cup. System is still like that. Based on the scores of the first round, the first one is competing in battle against the athlete number 10. Second is competing against the athlete number 9. Third against number 8. Fourth against number 7. Fifth against number 6. So you have to be very, very good to jump from the position number 10 and win the best one in the first round. But still, that's the system of battles. And so the second round is the battles where these athletes are competing against each other. It's a round consisting of 2 sets of 1.5 minute performance, and athletes are exchanging with their performances. So the athlete number 1 is going 1.5 minutes against other athlete 1.5 minutes, then again 1.5 minutes, and again 1.5 minutes. And judges are deciding who were the best in these 3 minutes in total. And they're voting for only one participant who must qualify to the third round. And the third round is also battle of 5 athletes, 5 best winners from these second round couples. And they are competing in 4 sets, 45 seconds each. So it's a very tough event, but at the same time, it's very, very interesting for spectators. So as I mentioned before, we decided that World Cup has to be more for a crowd, more for entertainment, and more for just being very interesting and intense to watch. And in 2016, we had 18 stages around the world in a World Cup already, and the super final was that year in Beijing, in China, organized by legendary Bobby Lee, and the winner was Daniel Slizans. And it was a crazy event in Beijing, China, because it was very hard and complicated to get the permission to organize an international event. We did that. Also, the event was filmed for the media production company, for the TV as a TV project. And at the day of the championship, we had a plan of having 1,000 spectators, but it was the highest danger rating smog day in Beijing, China, and only half of the population people could go out at the same day. So we only had 500 people in the stadium watching the event, but we had to, for 1,000 people, we had to have 120 policemen being responsible for the safety. So we were using also these policemen to sit on the tribunes to make the event and the tribunes look more crowded than they were, because it was because it was all filmed for the TV. It was a very great event, Beijing, China, and as I mentioned, Daniel Slizans, winner of the super final already for a second time. 2017 again was not very big change for a freestyle world championship. Again, it was in Moscow, Russia, with slightly improved rules based on the annual feedback that Federation collected in December. And winner of the championship was Daniel Slizans from Latvia and Galina Sidorenko from Russia. And World Cup this year was with 15 stages and a super final in Guadeloupe Island, and winner was Thiago Alvarez from Brazil. But the biggest change for 2017 was that we finally brought back Power and Strength World Championship, and we organized it again in Riga, Latvia, hometown of the Wall Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation, on the main square of Riga city center, in front of the Monument of Freedom. And we had strength category for female and male athletes, as well as power category for only male athletes. And in male category, Krzysztof Susitko from Poland was dominating the strength category. For female, we had Magdalena Malek from Poland, also Poland dominating this championship in strength category. And power category for men was Marek Matiš from Czech Republic, winner of the power category. What's really important about this event is that we had a lot of complaints about rules and regulations and judges not being ready to work on this event very properly, and it was a great lesson for all of us, for participants, for the organizers. But we really realized that this is the right time to bring back power and strength category, because it is enough interest for this category. And from 2017 the power and strength category is back on the track and is organized annually for Wall Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation. ...2018, no big changes here in freestyle rules. Again, because I think 2016 was the point where freestyle rules were already set to the point where only slight changes are happening in rules and regulations, but overall all freestyle athletes and judges are agreeing with the terms and conditions of the rules, how they are at the moment. And so in 2018, winner of the World Championship was Sangohan from France for male category. And what's really interesting that he brought to the game something really new, because his performance was he was using even the football ball to show the level of how he was doing the front levers, and it was very interesting music skill and attractive performance that really couldn't leave judges with the other decision. And Sangohan first ever become a world champion. And for women category, we had Natalia Modzolewska from Poland winning the world championship in 2018. Power and strength world championship was again in Riga, Latvia. Slightly improved rules, a lot of improvements in terms of judging. Maybe not that much changed in rules in general, but we really worked on judging. We focused on judging. And strength category, gold medal went to, in a male category, to Mariusz Prajawski from Poland, female Anna Krajka from Poland, and power category Mateusz Obrzeszki from Poland. So Poland just completely dominating the power and strength championship 2018 in Riga, Latvia. But what's really, really important is that the World Cup 2018 was the great turning point, and I would say amazing point for the street workout and calisthenics sport, because we had 12 stages for World Cup, and the super final was in front of Egyptian pyramids. So it was amazing event. For those who haven't seen this event, you can just write down World Cup Super Final 2018. It's on our WSWCF YouTube channel, and you can see a great 3-minute video on how amazing Kangaroo Pro bars look in front of the Egyptian pyramids, and with all of these strongest athletes coming together, and with great support of Egyptian Sports and Youth Ministry, as well as the founder of the Chaos Squad, organization, Islam Kortam, and all his great team, KO Squad. They made a great job of organizing one of the most amazing events we ever had in our sports history by now. And winner of the super final was Nippon Sritin from Thailand. I haven't seen him on other events anymore, but his level is absolutely amazing. Like, he was winner of my World Cup stage that I organized in Jurmala, Latvia, because I'm the annual Jurmala Latvia World Cup stage organizer. And when he came to our World Cup stage, he got second place after Daniel Slizans because he made slight mistakes, and it was his first ever event and his ever first competition. But his performance was outstanding. Like, he doesn't look like human. He looked like a robot ready to do any trick against any gravity laws. So Nippon Sritin is 2018 World Cup winner. Hopefully we'll still see him sometimes in our events. 2019 is the biggest difference in World Championship. And the biggest difference is weight categories. Finally, so we realized that we need weight categories back in 2014, but still we were seeing the lack of the different weight categories. Like, the athletes coming to the World Championships were becoming more and more like one type of weight, like more like a lightweight. But in 2019 we decided that we have to bring 3 categories, and middleweight, like lightweight category, middleweight category, and heavyweight category, as well as keeping the overall category for the best points, the winner in all of the weight categories. And winner of 2019 World Championship was again Daniel Slizans. This was his second win in the World Championships, and also Melanie Drisden became a double World Championship overall. And the Power and Strength Championship this year was happening in Pskov, Russia, and also there was weight categories added to this championship, and we had golden medals taken by Russian Grigory Skurikhin, Denis Vyatkin, and Denis Saratov, as well as golden medal for Aron Viberyan from Armenia, and Kamila Kobik from Poland was winning the female category. So it was first Power and Strength Championship that we moved from Riga, Latvia, and the location was pretty complicated maybe to reach, but we still had guys coming from Guatemala, Argentina, from Africa. So it was a great, amazing event on a big park in Pskov, and congratulations to all of the winners. They all deserved. And Russia at that time was dominating the game. Poland and Russia in Power and Strength category, super strong nations. And World Cup in 2019 had 15 stages and super final in Hong Kong. And great event organized by Kevin Lee and his team. And winner of World Cup 2019 was Thomas Kurganov from United States. And amazing performance. And Hong Kong was also a great event. Last event before we went to the long COVID sleep. What's important to mention that COVID came unexpected for everyone, and most of the big events were shut down for 2020. Same was for us. We were constantly trying to find some gap on how to organize a World Championship. We were thinking of having maybe an online championship, but that was not impossible. And COVID actually affected a lot street workout and calisthenics sports development, because because of this huge pause and the gap of almost 2 years, many event organizers stopped organizing their World Cup stages, national championships, because of this impossibility of organizing anything. And in 2020, we only managed to organize World Cup stage in Jurmala, Latvia, organized by me. one World Cup stage in Union Island, then one World Cup stage in Czech Republic, and there were no super final, no World Championships, nothing in 2020. 2021, finally, we managed to organize again World Championship. Very hard, very complicated, with a lot of COVID restrictions, with a lot of restrictions for travelers, for organizers, for athletes, for everything and everyone, and wearing the masks almost any time you are outside, and not only performing on a stage. And it was a hard and tough event, but we managed to organize it in Moscow, Russia. And it's very important to mention that first ever we organized power and strength category World Championship together with the freestyle World Championship. This time without weight categories, because as I mentioned in 2011, we brought the weight categories back, but because of the lack of participants, even those there were a lot of participants being a little bit afraid of traveling across the world to Moscow, Russia, and with possibility to get sick. And it was an event for brave athletes, brave organizers, and winner of this freestyle category was Daniel Christov from Bulgaria and Svetlana Yelyeva from Bulgaria as well. So Bulgaria dominating 2021 World Championship in freestyle category. And in strength category, Denis Saratov from Russia, Grigory Skurigin from Russia, and Natalia Kitaeva from Russia. So Russians completely dominating the power and strength category in Moscow. What was really interesting that we managed to organize everything in a very tight schedule, because before we were organizing freestyle and power and strength in separate events, and it was easy to organize, but there we had to twice rebuild the stage from the freestyle to power and strength, back to freestyle, back to power and strength, to being able to organize this event. But it proved that street workout and calisthenics community is very united and ready to have events under one roof. And from now on, we're organizing these events. We try to organize these events as one. So in 2022 event, the World Championship that was planned in Moscow, Russia again, was moved to Riga, Latvia. And you all know why, because Russia invaded Ukraine. So we, as many other international federations, we are not organizing any events now in Moscow and in Russia in general. So we had to move in the last moment. So in the very last notice, we had to move this event to Riga, Latvia, again to hometown of World Street Workout and Calisthenics Federation. It was a very hard and complicated event because of getting all of the Schengen visas. In Moscow, Russia, we had a full governmental support with all of the invitations to receive visas and easy access to Russia for all of the professional athletes. But for Riga, Latvia, we had to deal with the Schengen zone, and it was hard to organize, but we managed to have 160 participants together for freestyle and power and strength category. And we had, again, bringing back the weight categories and also the overall categories in freestyle, and overall category for freestyle, the Mazen El Sharnoubi from Egypt is the winner for male category, and for women it was Jasmina Svilenova from Bulgaria winning the freestyle category. In power category, David Adamzak from Poland and Gerardo Carbera from Uruguay was dominating the power category. Strength category for female was Nadia Berdikina from Latvia, and strength category for men was Amar Elgendi from Egypt and Levani Yanabashvili from Greece. So these were the golden medal winners. And what I have to say about upcoming season 2022 23, sorry, in 2024. So we will keep organizing freestyle competitions as well as power and strength competitions, world championships based again on the Unite rules. We will have weight categories. Most probably we will rebuild back the world pull-up day. We're getting back on the track after the COVID, and we really hope to have everyone more and more involved like back in the days. And if you are also interested in organizing any events together with us, you can always write the email to office@wswcf.org, and we will always be happy to talk to you, organize some online meeting and discuss any possibilities on making the street workout and calisthenics sport bigger, better, and yes, who knows where we're gonna get from there. So thank you all for watching this pretty long video about the history. A lot more details in the beginning because it was very important on how these rules and regulations were founded, and pretty short on the later on years. So thank you all for attention and have a great day.